cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking...
Shut up, fool!
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, sir.
And good Friday morning, everybody. That's right, Friday. Thank God it's here. Friday morning is here. Good morning, Zen, Jeff. What is going on? This bright and early Friday morning at that. Glad to have you guys here on this Friday. Glad to make it through the week. And I think I finally got the audio figured out through all of these programs tied together. Hopefully going forward. I don't know how the intro sounded on y'all's end of it, but I know I've got it figured out on this end of it. So I'm hoping it goes through right like it should. Maybe it is. Hope all of y'all having a fantastic morning already. I am and I'm not. Allergies. I had the biggest sneezing fit right before I got started. I was like, oh man, is this how we're starting today? My eyes are watering. See how they're just glassy. If you're watching on video, so if you're listening on the free Undefined Radio app, we are live on Facebook on our Undefined Radio page. All you have to do is go there to be a part of the show. Leave your comments, leave your questions, topic choices, whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. Like I said, it's Friday. I've got a guest coming on this morning, which I am ecstatic about. It'll be fun because we're going to do a little Friday football pick'em for the high school deal around our area. And because this is a community radio station as well as nationwide deal. So we're going to have a little fun with that for Friday for around here. So Barry Perkins will be here around the 8:30 mark this morning. That'll be a lot of fun. Next week, I'm going to have the man, Mark Manley, on here as we are going to do our football picks on Thursday for the NFL. I believe that's what we're doing. So we'll have that. And we're going to do different things like that. So we're not just doing sports or anything like that. It's going to be a bunch of everything. That's what I want to do. So if you got something you want to talk about, stuff you want to just get off your chest, let's go. Let's do it. Because there's a lot. There's a lot. But I'd like to say last night, I always give you every day what's going on around here, especially in our area, stuff where I know I could get to go do and have a good time. We were in Hernando on the square last night. And to listen to Roxy Love play, some friends of mine. And, man, it was fun. 7-9. It was a great atmosphere. If it wasn't for the mosquitoes, it would have been a perfect night because it felt great. I mean, it was hot yesterday, but when the sun fell behind that horizon, it was great. And the band is awesome. I mean, what a great sound they are. They brought their whole setup. And Andy Tracy, Doug, Manny, they were awesome. They were great. It was such a fun time. Just get to relax out in your lawn chair, sipping on your sweet tea, especially if you're here from the South, sipping on that sweet tea. That's what we did, and just listen to great music for 2 hours. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. So kudos to them. If you get a chance to go out and catch Roxy Love, definitely do that. Highly recommend that wherever you are. Go out and try to catch those guys because they are super talented. If you're looking to book a band, book Roxy Love. They're just that good. They are that good. They're awesome. They were talking about super talented. They are super talented. They are super talented. We got a lot of football going on tonight. Like I said, we'll get to that in a little while. Let's see what's happening around this weekend, though, near us. I'm not sure of any big. I was scoping around for things, trying to look to see what do we have going on in our area. And it's not as easy to find as you would think it is. I would have thought people would just be blasting stuff, or there would be a central location where you could just find whatever you wanted to find to go do. And I know they're having festivals. I know they're having get-togethers of here and there all over the place. We had Cooper Young last weekend, and apparently there were two other ones that I'd never even heard of that were going on last weekend. So There's got to be things out there. I'm looking through some of these pages, and honestly, there's not a lot. There's not a lot that I see through some of these. But I think that's why it's important as a community to get on there and say, look, this is happening this weekend. Give us a shout out. Tell your people who listen to you, this is what's happening. Because otherwise, how do we know? Baseball last night had, I think, Victoria Pride down there for their fall concert night on the square. That was last night. Haven't heard how that went. Victoria Pride's very talented. So I would be surprised if it didn't go well. But I would love to hear from people who were down there who can tell me how this went. Right? How did this event go? Well, who showed up for this event? Was it a big crowd? Was the crowd that was there, were they entertained? How was it? And I haven't heard. Haven't heard the first people. And that's kind of my point. I would love to know more about what's going on in our communities. But sadly, nobody talks about it. Yeah, we don't. Nope, nobody talks about it. I try to find out stuff. And it's you would be amazed at how difficult it really is when you're trying to get it. I begged people, send messages. Hey, look, all you need to do is send me your information. I will put it out there, buddy. I will put it out there. But getting it stuff. Let's see. A topic to discuss: the scam known as workers' comp. I got injured at work. I had 7 doctors that yes, my injuries were caused by a job. I was crane operator, yet workers' comp still deny me. I've got some thoughts about workers' comp. I do. Yeah, there's a lot you can talk about with workman's comp because that's what it is a scam in my. I mean, that's how I've always viewed it. I've had this conversation many times because you figure about like insurance in general. Sometimes can be tough. That's why picking the right provider to me is I know you're doing business with really makes a difference. Because some people will just sell you anything. Some are trying to genuinely look out for you. But even at the end of the day, the people who sell you the insurance are still having to deal with the actual people who cover all of that, right? So I know a lot of people sometimes get mad at the insurance. At the person who sold you the insurance. You got to look deeper than that. You got to look deeper than that where the actual money is at. Because that's what it comes down to. Workman's comp is like any other of those entities, especially those big ones. They are going to try to pinch, twist, and keep as much of that money as possible. Your premiums you pay in are going to be extravagant, right? They are. We see how exorbitant they are. It's a lot. Yet, when it comes time for them to pay up, boom, you miss a payment, they're already looking to pull your policy. But when it comes time for them to pay, talking about dragging your feet and fighting over every little thing. And workman's comp is bad about it. They are tough about it. And it ain't the only ones. And they're not the only ones who are like that either. But they will drag their feet. They're going to find reasons why you don't need to be paid yet or why you shouldn't be paid. It's crazy to me. Because where's all that money then? That's being paid into them. What is that deal? And maybe I don't understand workman's comp after all these years of studying it. Maybe I still don't know. So if someone would like to enlighten me, by all means, please do. Please do. Because it is a wild thing to go out here trying to You spend your life working. Like, I hardly ever missed a day of work. I never got injured or anything like that until one time. And I was working for Lowe's, and I fell off the top of a ladder. Those big steel ladders you see when you walk down the aisles, those big ones, fell off one, tore my knee up. That was fun with workman's comp. Despite the fact that I pay in on my insurance every month, and you don't have a problem taking that money out. And why do we do that? Why do we pay those premiums? In case what? In case something happens to you. In case injuries occur. And that money, and you need help, and that money needs to be there for you. And think of how many people pay into insurance, or at least used to, and it was somewhat affordable. And now it's hard to afford these premiums. There's more people without insurance now than ever before, since the introduction into having insurance. There's more people now without insurance than ever before because they can't afford it. They cannot afford it. It is so outrageous. Now, why is it outrageous? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Insurance fraud's a big one. Now, it would be nice if there was just one simple fix and one simple explanation as to why we're in this mess that we are, but there's a lot of reasons for it. Fraud's a big one. We're in the middle. Look, here's an example, and I'll get to your question in just a second, Jeff. Here's an example. So last weekend, we were headed to Cooper Young. We were at a gas station, and Jim backed up and backed into a lady who was at a gas pump. So we were at the front of the store. She backs up and bumps a lady who was parked at a pump. Lady wasn't in her car. She was in the building. We could have easily just drove off and been gone, but it's not how we're built. So we got out. It was just a rub, right? So Jen's rear driver's side hits the lady's front driver's side. So it's that whole left side of the car just bends it. She looks at it. Jennifer's just, the little scuff that was on just rubbed it out. And the lady who came out just rubbed hers right out. But then she goes over, and it was an older lady, but then she walks over to her passenger side. There was no damage there. There was no even contact on that side. I mean, literally, it was the tip ends of that left side that hit. So imagine at the corners. But that right side, we noticed that the front fender was out. All right, so it was out a little bit. She said, "Oh, well, look, that happened. Look what happened there." And there's a zip tie hanging out of it. A zip tie hanging out of the bumper where it had been hit before, and the fog light down below had been broken out. So that fender had been hit before, and somebody, I'm having to assume there was a claim probably filed. That money was pocketed instead of that car being fixed, and it was zip tied together. And that was it. So I got pictures of everything, dude. Nobody else is taking pictures. I took pictures of everything. The zip tie, that whole deal, the rub on the other part, all of it. So when we're talking about like insurance and workman's comp and all that and all those companies and the money, fraud's a big reason as to why they do what they do now. I think workman's comp is, I'm not a fan of a lot of this stuff because you spend your life working, paying in and working, going to work every day with the belief you do what's right, you go to work, and that's most of us. That's 99% of us. Yeah, you're going to have those people who are going out there committing these frauds and stuff like that, but 99% of us are just here to do our job, go about our daily lives, and when something happens, we fully expect the people we entrust this to, in this case, like with workman's comp and our dollars that go in, that these companies pay into these organizations that come from you as a worker, we expect them to take care of it. And then boom, they don't. They will find any and every reason not to pay you. Were you wearing the correct color shirt that day? Because if not, that certainly could have Been a reason why you did this, so that's on you. We can't do it. We can't. I'm afraid we're going to have to deny you. You wore the wrong color shirt. Today you're denied. Stuff like that happens. It sounds crazy, but it happens. I was lucky with mine, and I'm not sure, Jeff, if it's a state agency here. I just know when I went and saw the attorney, they sent me to a local attorney in Batesville, who was awesome, by the way. She was just said, look, I'm just here. I am the local. I handle all the workman's comp cases. I told her exactly what happened, and we were very honest and upright. She said, well, this is what's going to happen. She said, this is how it works. Boom. And they took care of me. I mean, it was nothing. They covered basically what they did was they took care of my surgeries. So I didn't have to pay anything for my surgeries on my knee, and my rehab was taken care of. And I got a little bitty check that was nothing. I mean, literally, it was a small check for my time off work that did not cover my time off work. And I got, of course, time off leave which was, again, nothing. Like when you're making, upwards of $1,000 a week, and then all of a sudden it's $180 a week. It was like 200 something. It was, then you're on the point of starvation at that point. It was tough. 27 years as a crane operator. Dang, Zen. Jeez, dude. That's wild to me. Did they say why they denied you? I'm certainly curious as to why that would be the case. It's a tough thing. We were oh yeah, I know. It's a small percentage at that. That's what I mean. It's tough. It's for the average person, especially if you're not making good money and you don't have something put back. It's a tough road to hoe after that. It does. It makes it tough when you're going in there after if you're injured and then you're on the shelf. That's rough. That's rough. I can't remember. Mine was, God, this happened to me back in 2006, I believe. So it's been a minute. Yeah. They do. I mean, that's their whole deal is to deny it, to keep all that money. That's what happens. That's why I'm so glad I had who I had when mine happened to me. And it happened so long ago, because the horror stories I've heard the last few years is it's just gotten infinitely worse on who they accept and who they deny. It's gotten like more, because I have some personal friends who are going through some of the same stuff. I mean, and the lady is down. I mean, it's tough. Getting her disability, tough. Trying to fight to get that is tough. And again, I just don't fault because I know so many insurance people. They're all good people. They try to get you the best rates and stuff, but they don't control the money on the back end of it. Right? They don't control what happens behind all that. They're your out front sales guys, right? That's like you go buy a phone, you go buy an AT&T phone or whatever it is, and you buy all that. And then something happens to your phone, they don't make the phone. They don't do any of that other stuff. They don't handle the service part. They're just selling you a phone. It's not their fault. They're told, hey, this is what you sell. Here's the thing. And then you're off on your own. And after that, the people who actually make it are the ones responsible for all that. But it's the people on the front lines who catch all the grief for it. I just know too many good people who catch so much grief for stuff they cannot control, when it's these little shadowy people in these high rises out there handling all that money. And it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but sadly, it's just the truth and how it works. Our stories I heard, and yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. I think if you were licensed in insurance, you would understand insurance. Unfortunately, they don't teach it in school. No, and I've been through the insurance programs. I'll tell you, there is a lot that goes on in there, and what it can handle. Like when you're, like when it comes to insurance on your home. When you go buy insurance on your home, you just don't go in there and go, okay, I need an insurance policy for my house. There are so many variables that come to this. It is crazy. It is crazy. I never watched the WNBA until Caitlin Clark joined the league. The Fever won a 2-point exciting game to advance to the second round. And Caitlin Clark's out right now. I love Caitlin Clark. I love the excitement she's added to it. I love the hypocrisy it has shown in the league. I mean, I love Sophie. Sophie's a badass. Sophie's awesome. She's become my new favorite player. Sophie has. She's the truth. She is the truth. But yeah, Caitlin Clark is a lightning rod. Is a lightning rod. And there's a lot, right, Jeff, that goes into all of that. I mean, it's a lot. And you're right, they don't teach this stuff. These are things that should be taught in school. Now, they don't have to teach necessarily percentages. They ought to give ballpark because they will change here and there. But like, you'd be amazed at some of the stuff that has been around for, 100 years now that they still lean into on the insurance front. So it's kind of interesting. But that's cool, though, that they advanced to the second round. But Caitlin's the reason why, that single-handedly why people are watching this. Or maybe it's people's reaction to Caitlin Clark. But she's a beast out there on that court. But that's this whole, like, they have the issue, like, with the women's sports, specifically WNBA, with this whole pay equality deal. And that's another thing they don't teach in school like I think they should. They don't, at least if they don't spend, if they do, they don't spend enough time on it. Like economics, right? Basic economics. Like, you don't have to get in super in depth, but basic economics is important when you're in for growing up, period. Like, there's so many people who don't understand, especially in the WNBA. The reason why you don't make as much as the men in the NBA is because you don't have near the income, right? You don't drive near the financials that the NBA does. You don't. The marketing, you don't have any of that stuff. That's why y'all don't get paid as much. The eyes aren't there. It's all of that. And if you're not gonna, and if you can't pull in those eyes, you can't pull in the money, you're not going to get paid as much. The revenue is everything. There's a reason why. If the WNBA pulled in as much revenue as the NBA and they still weren't getting paid, but what they're getting paid now, okay, you've got all the gripe in the world. I'm with you. 100%. Let's go. I'll die with you on that hill. But that's not the case. That is not the case. The WNBA, their revenue is trash because nobody watches it. Only very few people watch it. And Caitlin Clark's the real reason, whether you want to admit it or not, why people are watching it now. That's the only reason people still even actually know that the WNBA still exists, is because of Caitlin Clark. Now, Angel Reese can say all she wants to that she's the real reason, whatever. But the fact is, without Caitlin Clark, that organization doesn't do what it does. It don't. It doesn't. It doesn't. We're here in about 5 minutes. We're going to bring in Barry Perkins. I'm excited to talk to Barry this morning. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to bring him live. This will be the first time I'm trying to pull somebody in live for the show. So we're going to see what that's going to be like and how that's going to work out here. Hopefully it will. I had something printed out over there, but forgot to get it. So it's oops. Oops. But I do hope you guys are doing well this morning. We'll give a shout out to the sponsors of Undefined Radio. Thank you so much. TV EPA, TVI Fiber, Caldwell Insurance, great company. First Security Bank out of Batesville. Thank you all so much. And Batesville Tire and Muffler, as always. Wells Funeral Home, another great company. All supporters of Undefined Radio, and we couldn't do this without you guys. And have been great sponsors for years. And we thank y'all so much for that. Just says it's like the late night talk shows aren't getting watched and the stations don't want to buy them anymore. Well, there's a lot of that. Ratings are low. And they still can't. People are tired of being told how to feel and preached to and told what right think is. And it's just gotten to the point where people are like, no. You're not going to. I'll tune out and go find me something else to watch where I don't have to be preached to all the time. Yeah, dude, that is so true. Zen said, Caitlin Clark was the driving force for the paying fans. Yet the WNBA found it necessary to injure their cash cow. The jealousy. The jealousy in the WNBA is insane. The jealousy in the WNBA is insane. It's so bad. It is. Y'all know how bad it is. That's tough. That the jealousy there in them women is rough, buddy. You watch that, and it's sad. It's sad. Just instead of just enjoying the fact you have a league that you can prosper in and make a living in, playing a game and trying to elevate it. They're so worried and so concerned more on trashing and tearing the other person down. This is why that league does not succeed. It's why it doesn't succeed. There is so much vitriol and hatred in the WNBA amongst its players and coaches. It's wild. It is wild. It's wild to me. It is. Makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. But there it is. There it is. I mean, it's that's why every time they show Caitlin doing something or smoking on the court, I giggle. It's funny. And then when Sophie did her thing, boom. Sticking up for her teammate. That's right. That's right. I thought it was cool. That you think of the influence Caitlin Clark has had on these young girls who now want to play basketball, who want to watch the sport. Why would you put that at risk and not try to protect that and grow your brand? Like I said, I don't understand it. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. But the WNBA sure doesn't seem like they want to. And for any sports fan, that makes zero sense. 0 cents as to why you don't protect your cash cow. But they aren't. They aren't. Not at all. Not at all. All right, we are hitting at the bottom of the hour. Waiting on Barry to pop up here. And we'll do this because I got something else I'm going to show y'all. That is wild to me. And really epitomizes. It really does epitomize what is going on in this country. And while we're waiting on Barry to join us, I might just go ahead and show y'all right now. And we can have a quick conversation about that. But this right here is crazy. This is crazy. For those of you who are not watching, the clip I'm about to play you is of Megyn Kelly found this on TikTok. So I'm going to warn you, this is sped up. All right, this is sped up. And let me bring it in here so you can see it. Make sure it's showing on screen right. But this is this is sped up right here. So if it sounds like she's almost talking like a chipmunk, it's because that's just how they put it out. So she can get all this in on this short little short. But it's this mother who is out there, and I'm gonna roll the clip. Y'all can listen to it. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about this. Let's roll this clip right here.
On X, they've now identified this person. I don't see a name, but they say that the husband, she's married to a lieutenant colonel for the National Guard. They say she's a preschool teacher. We have not independently confirmed that, but I can show you the video of this woman trying to deliver news to her children that Taylor Swift got engaged. But watch the lead up to that moment here in SOT 29.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Okay, third best news.
Elon Musk died?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift! Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged!
That is so wrong. It's abuse. And by the way, there is more information from the Daily Mail. Described as a progressive teacher, Krista Cole, a substitute teacher at Colorado Springs Public School. She's been placed on leave over the clip. Yeah, of course. Of course she has. She's since deleted her social media. She took that. First of all, she did that. She indoctrinated them. She took that video. She posted it. The reason I see it and you see it is because she's proud of what she's doing to her little girls there.
Wow. There you go. That's unbelievable. That when you ask them a question, what's the best news? Their first response is Donald Trump unalived. Then the second one, your vice president unalived. Third one, Elon Musk unalived. That's their top three best news. These kids are having to answer from the brainwashing that their parents put them through. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? That this is what we're doing with our children? That you are so twisted as an adult that you pass along to your children that these people dying is okay? You feel it necessary. And then, of course, in the next breath, you're so excited that your best friend, who you don't even know, Taylor Swift, is getting married to Travis Kelce. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. I'm going to bring Barry on here, then we're going to get back to this. Let me find Barry. Let me bring him on. What's up, Barry? Can you hear us, buddy? We got Barry, but we can't hear Barry. We got Barry, but we can't hear Barry. Barry, we can't hear you, buddy. So, yeah, let's see here. I knew this was going to be something I was going to have to try to work out. So, Barry. See if we can get that. But I think Barry might be muted. But not from my end. Let me look. I'm looking, Barry. No, Barry's good. Barry's good. Yeah. Yeah. No audio for Barry. Guys, y'all can still hear me, correct? I hope y'all can, because I can't hear Barry at all. Can y'all still hear me? My mic is modulating, so I'm pretty sure y'all can still hear me. Let me reach out to Barry and see, because we have no audio on Bear, which is kind of funny. Because what would it be without having an audio issue? And so there we go. I can make Bear's picks for him, though. Yeah, I don't know. Barry's out. We'll see. We'll see if he comes back. We'll see if he comes back. All right. That's funny. That's funny. We're trying. Making sure we look, like I said, we still got audio here on this end of it. Don't know about Bear. Bear ain't got it. I'm going to tell him, though. I'm going to tell him. And that's kind of the thing about this show is, look, dude, we ain't promising perfection. We're just promising you a show each and every morning from 8 to 9. Each and every morning from 8 to 9. And so Barry said he can't hear me. And I'm curious about the rest of you. Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up, a heck yeah, whatever. Let me know if y'all can hear me through both of these. Well, I know we are through Undefined Radio. I know you can hear me through the app, so thank y'all for that. But how about through Facebook? Can you hear me through Facebook? I am curious there. Can y'all hear me through Facebook? That's all I need to know. Yeah. Let me tell Barry. So, boom. I do have a loud mouth. This is true. This is true. I'm not going to deny. Not going to deny it. Not going to deny it at all. But we'll wait for Barry to try again. But it's pretty pathetic parenting, though. Teaching your kids to hate somebody and celebrate their death. I don't get the mindset. I don't see how you do that. I don't. And I wish I could say it's just young parenting. And it is more of the young parents that do that these days, the younger generations that do that. But you still see it in a pretty pathetic way. And that's awful. That's awful. And I hate that. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to communicate with Barry here. All right, we're gonna try this a different way. Let's do it this way. We're gonna get Barry in by phone. How about that? How about we just bring him in by phone? You won't get to see his mug, but we'll get Barry in by phone. We'll do it like that. That way we at least know that we're getting this segment done one way or the other. One way or the other, we're getting this segment done. Because we've been talking about it. We've been wanting to do it. So we'll do it. Yep. Yeah, Barry. There we go. Do mine. And when he calls me, I'll put it on speaker right here. We'll try it the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way. Barry Perkins. Here we go, folks. Now we got Barry.
We're going to figure this out one way or the other.
One way or the other, we get it figured out. One way or the other. Yeah, good to have you there, dude. Yeah, your microphone wasn't connecting to your link. Is what it
Right,
was
gotcha.
on your phone. So, like I said, we'll get that all worked out. But let's talk about some of these high school football games real quick, Barry. We want to do
Man,
this in fun for our area, for some of our local listeners right here. I want to start out with Magnolia Heights versus Pillow Academy. That is a district game for them. Magnolia Heights is 4-0. Pillow Academy is 1-3. Who you got?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna have to take Magnolia on that one. They are red hot. Jack Price is the overall man child. I mean, just phenomenal athlete all around.
Yeah, we experienced Jack up close and personal when he destroyed North Delta at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, I've seen that action. All right.
I've heard a lot of people talk about Jack and all that. And the thing is, I don't see a lot of people looking at Jack from other schools. I mean, he's just a junior, but I mean, he's putting up great numbers every week.
They will, though. The more this season goes along, and then somebody will be scouting that kid.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so.
All right, we got Senatobia 3-0 versus Calhoun City 3-0. This is a non-district, non-conference game right here.
This is, but I'm gonna tell you what. That Calhoun City team, though, they dropped down. I believe they are now 1A. So I don't think it's going to be much of a matchup for Senatobia. They got Silas King. I mean, that kid's got 2 interceptions on the year. He's got 1 kickoff return for a touchdown. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. They got Davion Watson at running back. Man, let me tell you, he averages 199 yards a game.
Jeez, good Lord. Is this Senatobia's homecoming?
This is Senatobia's homecoming.
Oh, so it's going to be good.
Just party in Senatobia tonight is all I got to say.
That's right. Yeah, Independence 1-2 versus West Bolivar 0-2. This is a non-district game.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, Independence, I mean, they look good. They got a good team. They just came into Senatobia a little overmatched last week. I think they were a little overconfident, but they've got a great quarterback in Kitchens. They've got some other great players and everything. I'm going to take Independence on this one over West Bolivar.
All right, we got Strayhorn 2-2 versus Tupelo Christian. This happened last night, actually. Both teams are now 2-2. Tupelo Christian whooped them 51-6. That was a non-district game. It was rough.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm always a Strayhorn fan. Went there kindergarten through 8th grade. I'm an alumni. I'm a Mustang. But, it's just going to take a little bit. They got a new coach in there. Tim Melton left and went to Magnolia Heights. So, I mean, it's just going to be some rebuilding in there. And they got to trust in their coach is what they got to do. Yeah. But, like I say, I think Tupelo Christian was a little overmatched for them.
Oh, yeah. North Delta 1-3 is open this Friday. We got North Panola 1-2 versus St. George's, who are 3-1. This is non-conference.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I like what's going on down there in North Panola. I just left from there, took another job. I like the thing that Richard Russo is doing with the buy-in program down there. He's trying to help those kids out a lot. You got Holiday, which they call him Rara. He's a phenomenal athlete. Hey, I tell you what, Mark Manley here, Grandma better start paying out some NIL money because he is being recruited by Missouri.
Oh, wow. Wow, there you go.
So Mark, get ready to get some grandma's money and pay him an NIL deal by American Hostile Wrestling.
You got South Panola 1-2 versus Clarksdale, who is 3-0-1.
Man, I'm always a Brooks Oakley fan there. The coach is doing great. He's got a lot of good people in there. He's actually got some ex-Ole Miss football players in there as assistant coaches. Once they get everything running around, I think he's going to get it back to old South Panola that was just kicking everybody's butt back in the day. He's going to get it back. I'm going to take South Panola.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we got Hernando 3-0. Versus Center Hill 2-1. This is a non-conference game. It is a homecoming game for Hernando.
Yeah, Hernando's lighting it up right now. They're red hot. They've got a good wide receiver unit over there. I guess you got wide receiver U's where you got wide receiver high schools because they are lighting it up over there. I'm going to take Hernando at the homecoming.
All right, there you go. And that's all the schools I've got listed, Barry. It's all the ones I got listed.
Yeah, the rest of them are all. I think everybody right now is non-conference except for Magnolia. Magnolia's homecoming is next week, which they'll take on a division rival, Heritage. So that ought to be a good one.
Oh yeah, that should be a really good game.
Hey, as always, we hope all these kids do good tonight. Nobody gets hurt, and all the locals. Hey, just bring home a win.
Very exactly. There you go. So we're rooting for y'all. Everybody stay safe. Barry, thanks so much, buddy.
Hey, man. Thank you.
Have a good one. Barry Perkins, folks. Appreciate Barry for joining us and taking the time on this Friday morning to do that. I love doing little segments like that, so it'll be fun. And we're trying to find different segments to do during the week, all throughout the week, to give us something different to do. But we played that before we got onto the football deal. We played that clip that Megan Kelly had posted on TikTok about that other lady who's raising her kids like that. And wow. And we kind of touched on it. I hate that we flipped back and forth like that too. Yeah, the fact that her husband's military, and I get it. You don't just have conservatives or just liberals or right or left in military. You got people of all shapes and sizes in there, but it's really tough though. The part I hate, I don't care what your political stance is. I really don't. But anytime that you teach your kids that violence and death and things like that are to be celebrated, there's something messed up with you as a human being. It's not cute. It's not funny, because your kids will take that to heart. And that's what they'll grow up preaching to their kids. And hence why we have the god-awfulness going on in this country right now. High school football is huge in Southern California. It's huge in Texas too. I mean, which is where I'm from, but yeah, and I love high school football. I call high school football every Friday night for North Delta, except we're off tonight, so I don't have to call it tonight. And it's fun, even in defeat, as much as we really wish they would start winning. But they're playing some high power teams because it was hard for them this year. It seemed like to really schedule some of these other teams, but it's still fun to watch these young guys learning the sport. I mean, truly learning the sport, which is what they're doing, right? They're truly learning the sport, and it's fun to watch. I love being able to bring this and go and watch it and see their development. It's really cool, because I think sometimes a lot of people will just get involved in the record, right? The win-loss record. But for these kids right now, it's all about the learning and getting better and learning teamwork, learning how to play the sport. And football can be a very complicated sport. It's a very trying one, that's for sure. Especially when you're losing. Mark says rain tonight for us in a 5-hour drive. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that is going to be a long day. Last week I put a clip on Undefined Radio from our call last Friday night. Wasn't much good going on in that game, and they were getting shut out. And West Point was looking to get that running clock, which means 35 points. I know that's what it is here. And they'll get that running clock, and the clock just runs. And instead of giving up, those kids from North Delta just fought. And finally, I mean, they had a huge defensive stand as West Point and Oak Hill Academy was trying to go in for that 35-point lead. And they shut them down, stopped them on 4th down, drove the length of the field, and scored their only touchdown and 2-point conversion of the game. And that was the end of the score. And then that was it. Oak Hill could not get that 35 points. So it was a big loss, but it wasn't a running clock loss. And that was a great victory, because they could have given up because they were getting hammered. Big plays. It was really the big plays that were killing them. And that's all it was, is big plays that got them. I don't think Oak Hill had they had one sustained drive, but really it was big plays. So it's wild. Sad we got to drive 5 hours to play a football game in Class 1. Yeah, I know it, right? That's it. I mean, we've driven 3 hours, 2:45, and 2.5. And next week's will be about a 2-hour drive. And that's the last long drive we have to play for games that aren't in district, right? These are not district games, but games that you're trying to fill out your schedule for. So, but yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough having to do that. Let's see. I got to get this weather in here because it's about to get wild. As long as it cools off, I know I'm happy because I need some cool air. This body ain't built for heat. Not anymore. Not anymore. Today is going to be a high of 92 and got some thunderstorms supposedly moving in, but it's going to be scattered. That'll be later on tonight. And then it's going to be partly cloudy, but it's going to be in the 90s tomorrow. So for Saturday, you're looking at 93. Sunday, high 93. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, but it's going to be a hot one. And then Monday, we drop down to 86, mostly cloudy. And Tuesday, here come the storms. Dropping the temperature down to 85, 81 on Wednesday. Supposedly a high of 79 on Thursday. If that's the truth, I can't wait for next Thursday. Because that's the temps I need right there. Hit me with those 79s, those lower temps I like, especially this time of the year. I need those lower temps. That's going to be the big thing. You have a great weekend too, Zim, because it's going to be a fun one. But you got to be careful with it. I plan on doing nothing this weekend. I'm not going to lie. I plan on doing nada this weekend. So if you're looking to find me, you'll find me at home. That's it. I've got writing to do. So I'm working on a new novel. You see Hell County back here behind me. If you haven't picked up Hell County, you should. It's available on Amazon. Just go look it up. I think for those of you who just know me as a wrestler, you'll be pleasantly surprised that I can string together a complete sentence. It is true. I can do that. So we have Hell County. And in October, we're publishing my second big novel. And I'm very excited for it. It's going to be a good one. I really am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the whimsical nature of this new novel I've got coming out. It is going to be great. Great. I don't know, Jeff. I'm still up in the dark about After Dark. Now my After Dark channel is still rolling. My reactions and stuff are still going to be a thing. But as far as having an After Dark show on Saturday nights, I don't know. I've quit my drinking. I love having conversations, and I love actually having conversations. If we do After Dark, it won't be what it was. It will be more of having late night conversations. And if we do that, then I'm down for it. But as far as a drinking and a party in town, I have no desire to do that anymore. So maybe that somewhat answer your question, because I haven't fully decided yet, but that's how I'm kind of leaning. Anyways, Hill County is an epic novel, and thank y'all for reading it, Jeff. I do appreciate it. For purchasing the book, Mark, thank you as well. There's several of you who have, and I appreciate it. Your feedback has been great. For those of you who have left reviews, thank you so much. That helps me out more than you even know. The reviews are everything, because that's the only way in Amazon they push it up the chart, so other people will get in there and learn about its existence. So that's what it is. And yeah. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. But this first week of Undefined Voices, thank you guys who've been on here plugging it. Be sure to like and share this when we have it next week. We're off and running. We are off and running next week. And good for you, Jeff. I mean, quitting drinking is a big thing. It is. I feel better already, just not having anything in my system like that. I said I was still going to drink a glass of wine, but I haven't even had a desire to have a glass of wine, really. And I know we're going out tonight with some friends, but not really going out to drink. I'm taking me a Coca-Cola. That's what I'll drink tonight. Probably need to lay off the Cokes until they get that pure cane sugar put back in, or just go get me a bunch of Mexican Cokes, because those things are good. They are delicious. If you haven't had a Mexican Coke, you got to try it. You got to try a Mexican Coke. And right now, I really want to leave you guys with this. I didn't get to work yesterday, but I'm doing it today. And I promised I would do this. I've got to start getting this in there. This is from Michael Bates, Sowing and Reaping. And I think this is important. Give this a listen and let me know what you guys think about it.
Hey, good morning to you, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today on In View of Eternity. You know, In View of Eternity.
I'm sorry. And let me know that y'all can hear this too, by the way.
Our decisions matter. How you and I decide to live our lives is certainly something that will affect eternity. In Galatians chapter 6, verses 7 and 8, the Bible tells us, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows or plants, that will he also reap. For he who sows to the flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But whosoever according to the Spirit sows to the Spirit will reap life everlasting." Those first few words ought to really get our attention. Be not deceived. A lot of times you read those words in Scripture, and when you do, it's pretty obvious that either the early readers were deceiving themselves or being deceived, or there is just a general principle that mankind in general tends to be deceived when it comes to this particular thing. Many years ago, I remember preachers who would preach sermons based on a common thought of the day. There was an old expression about sowing your wild oats. Sometimes this might be said of people when they were young people, young adults. Others would say of another person maybe, well, they're not finished sowing their wild oats. Well, then preachers would come along based off this passage in Galatians 6, 7, and 8 with sermons entitled something similar to The High Price of Wild Oats. God will not be mocked, Paul says. He uses an agricultural principle. Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. Nobody goes out here and plants seed for corn and grows anything but. You're not going to plant seed for beans and grow anything except whatever the seed is you put in the ground. That's an agricultural principle. That's something that's true. That's something that's just going to happen. And he says it works that way spiritually. God will not be mocked in that respect. If I sow to my flesh, if it's all about self-indulgence, if it's all about me, you only live once, YOLO, well, there's going to be a problem. Because if I only sow to my flesh, if that's the way I choose to live, then I will of the flesh reap corruption. However, there's a better way, and that is sowing to the Spirit. He's just talked about the Spirit back in chapter 5. He's described the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Against such, he says, there is no law. And when I live by the teachings of the Spirit of God, oh, that reaps eternal life. In view of eternity, what are you planning today? There's no need to be surprised at the day of judgment. God says, I'll not be mocked. Whatever you sow, that's what you'll reap. Thank you for listening today. I'm Michael Bates.
Michael Bates is awesome. Thank you so much for that. He's great. And what great words there, sowing and reaping. I mean, what great words. Thank you guys so much for supporting this show, for being here. I appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me. I love doing this. I'm really excited about being able to do it again, do it in a brand new light. I've got, after I hop off here, I got some reactions to do. So if you like watching and listening to reactions, hop on over to our After Dark channel. Check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got some I've got to do. And because we're going to do it, we're going to hit that. I got lots of stuff that I'm doing, that I enjoy doing. And I got to tell you, when we do this stuff, it's become a joy of mine to be able to do that. Be able to do that with you guys. And as we get into it, get this show rolling, remember, you're all a part of it. You got different ideas for it. Let me know. We're really going to start cranking it up, having a good time. Had to get this first week out under our belt, get it knocked out. We did that. That's because of you guys. And I hope y'all have a safe, happy, fun weekend. Enjoy yourselves this weekend. And I'll see y'all back here on Monday.
I want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking.
Shut up, boo. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth. It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose.